I heard y'all was looking for me.
Here I go.
Yeah.
Floating on your screen, I'm the daydream queen. Black Barbie style, Kim put a ring on me. Kids and businesses, yeah, the juggle is real. Hit that like, hit the sub, let's seal the deal. This is Von's reality, baby, tune right in. Soft glam, big goals, let the magic begin. If you came for the tea, I'm the kettle that spin. Welcome to the world where the queens always win. Switch it up. Bad bitch tea, got Lipton packs in the back. A whole lot going on, better grab you a snack. If you on the live stream, hype me up in the chat. Play with the queen, got that ass smack. Boss in my bloodline, every move back with facts. Von's reality, yeah, the fam stay stacked. I'm the moment, the glow, the vibe you can't hack. Step into my world, you ain't never going back. You say you were looking for me, here I go. Get ready for Von's reality show. We going up, it's a vibe, yeah, you already know. Play it in the streets, at work, or right at home. Yeah, you said you were looking for me, tune in close. Watch the elevation and the pretty unfold. From the glam to the grind, baby, this my zone. Von's reality, welcome to the throne.
Since y'all were looking for me,
I'll give you reality.
I heard y'all was looking for me.
Here I go.
Yeah.
Floating on your screen, I'm the daydream queen. Black Barbie style, Kim put a ring on me. Kids and businesses, yeah, the juggle is real. Hit that like, hit the sub, let's seal the deal. This is Von's reality, baby, tune right in. Soft glam, big goals, let the magic begin. If you came for the tea, I'm the kettle that spin. Welcome to the world where the queens always win.
Switch it up.
Bad bitch tea, got Lipton packs in the back. A whole lot going on, better grab you a snack. If you on the live stream, hype me up in the chat. Play with the queen, got that ass smack. Boss in my bloodline, every move back with facts. Von's reality, yeah, the fam stay stacked. I'm the moment, the glow, the vibe you can't hack. Step into my world, you ain't never going back. You say you were looking for me, here I go. Get ready for Von's reality show. We going up, it's a vibe, yeah, you already know. Play it in the streets, at work, or right at home. Yeah, you said you were looking for me, tune in close. Watch the elevation and the pretty unfold. From the glam to the grind, baby, this my zone. Von's reality, welcome to the throne.
Since y'all were looking for me,
I'll give you reality.
I heard y'all was looking for me.
Here I go.
Yeah.
Floating on your screen, I'm the daydream queen. Black Barbie style, Kim put a ring on me. Kids and businesses, yeah, the juggle is real. Hit that like, hit the sub, let's seal the deal. This is Von's reality, baby, tune right in. Soft glam, big goals, let the magic begin. If you came for the tea, I'm the kettle that spin. Welcome to the world where the queens always win.
Switch it up.
Bad bitch tea, got Lipton packs in the back. A whole lot going on, better grab you a snack. If you on the live stream, hype me up in the chat. Play with the queen, got that ass smack. Boss in my bloodline, every move back with facts. Von's reality, yeah, the fam stay stacked. I'm the moment, the glow, the vibe you can't hack. Step into my world, you ain't never going back. You say you were looking for me, here I go. Get ready for Von's reality show. We going up, it's a vibe, yeah, you already know. Play it in the streets, at work, or right at home. Yeah, you said you were looking for me, tune in close. Watch the elevation and the pretty unfold. From the glam to the grind, baby, this my zone. Von's reality, welcome to the throne.
Since y'all were looking for me,
I'll give you reality.
Hello. Hi, guys. Hey, foster mom, Miss Tawana, Abril, Janice, Javar, and we're gonna call you Don. Hello. So yeah, I'm gonna be here not that long. In fact, I could have did like a pre-recorded video, but I didn't want to. I really wanted to listen to my intro, and I would like to open up the floor for conversation. Okay. As you all know, I am a huge Married to Medicine fan. Okay. I love Housewives, y'all. Housewives of Atlanta. Um, I don't know if y'all know this, but I like be a huge fan of the TV show Desperate Housewives. Okay. So I think y'all know I like TV, like I like movies and stuff, right? But anyway, so what I love most about the doctors' wives on Married to Medicine is that it's an all black cast, okay? No tea, no shade to those who have come and gone, but it's an all black cast. They are married. Some of them are married to doctors, and you know Simone and Dr. Jackie are doctors of their own, and their husbands are not. And they're like everyday black people, okay? And that's what I love most about this show. However, y'all, now I have to be all the way honest, okay? In the past, Miss Tawana, YouTube, listen, I love like they are my favorites, all of them, okay? Now, y'all might not be surprised by this, but my favorite, freaking favorite is Dr. Heavenly. Okay, it used to be Quad until they made, Heavenly like, you know, what what do they call the a scope? What do they call the scopes, y'all? A testoscope, okay? I don't know, because on Atlanta, we say a peach holder. Okay. So I don't know if I'm Married to Medicine, they say like a stethoscope. If I'm even saying the word right, y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay. The thingy that the doctor puts on your heart and your airways so they can listen to you breathe. But anyway, so my favorite is Dr. Heavenly. Okay. In the past, I have been very disappointed by some of their behavior as a entire cast, not just because the individual behavior I can get over. It's when certain things happen as a unit, okay, that I feel that women in at their age. I want to say, y'all know I love the movie Mean Girls, okay. And I have a little mean girl in me, okay. But at heart, right is right and wrong is wrong. That is me, okay. She said, "Heavenly, a doctor, all except Toya and Quad." She said, "I love Married to Medicine, girl." Like, yes, Abril, I am a day one. The year that it came out, I was pregnant with my daughter, my oldest daughter. And me and my aunt, y'all know we love TV together. I think that's the one thing I miss about living when I used to live with her and my grandmother. Like, we had so much fun watching TV, and we went out and stuff too, y'all. Honestly, anything that I did with my aunt was like a field trip. But I really miss watching TV with her because I feel like nobody else be all up into it like her. Okay. And nowadays, y'all, we don't live together, and I'm like, doing whatever it is I'm doing. Y'all, she blames me, okay, for our like whatever it is that we're going through. And I'd be like, yo, it's you. And I have to be, honest and say it's somewhat me, y'all, because I'm gonna say this. When I'm going through something, I like distance myself from everybody in my family. And let's just say that it's all my fault. And if you're listening, y'all, she keeps showing up in my community spotlight. And I've already screenshot my community spotlight. And I would just like to say this. For those of you who are like in my bushes, okay, and you don't want nobody to know that you're like watching my channel, okay, Joy. I'm only gonna name you because the other individuals, it's like whatever. But Joy, girl, like you be in my spotlight every week. For you not to like me, you be in my spotlight every week, girl. But anyway, y'all, my auntie be showing up in my community spotlight, and I think it's so funny because I already know she, like looks at my channel every now and then. She'll comment, but y'all, she been showing up like more and more. I'm like, this is so funny to me. Um, so yeah, when I post my community, spotlight, y'all gonna see my auntie and y'all gonna see joy. But anyway, y'all. So hey, King James. Hey, Joe. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Make sure y'all hit the like button on y'all way in and out. But anyway, so I am disappointed in the girls, y'all, for this clip right here that I'm about to show y'all. Because as a woman, okay, of my age, I'll be 32 in February, y'all. I have learned a lot about marriage, friendship, and most importantly, who not to share what with. And I will even be completely transparent and tell y'all about how I have treated some of my friends in the past. Of course, we are not friends anymore. And I'm talking about in real life, y'all. But I'm grateful. And honestly, y'all, me and this person, we were really good friends at one point, and we broke up and we've apologized to each other and really just moved out of each other's lives. But the thing is that when I reflect on my past, and a lot of times things kind of come up when I'm watching TV or when I'm just scrolling on the internet. People be like, this is how you know a bitch ain't your friend. And a lot of the times people say, oh, I went through this or I experienced this. We rarely see people who say, oh, I have been that person to another person. And in my case, y'all, I was really mean to a friend. Okay. And because I was in my early 20s and now I'm in my early 30s, of course, I am not, I don't have the same behaviors, or even the mindset that I used to have when I was in my early 20s. I've changed a lot, and I've grown a lot and I've learned from my mistakes and I've recognized that, I'm really not a perfect person. And I can honestly say, like, in my early 20s, y'all, I really thought I was hot shit. Like, I really think like there was something wrong with me. But anyway, hey, Cap. Hey, bro. And I said all that to say because when I tell y'all like I've grown a lot, okay, like I really have because I used to be really mean spirited. And truth be told, y'all, I've also recognized that when you're going through something, a lot of the times we project or, we unknowingly take our frustrations out on other people. And sometimes we even want to make ourselves, feel better. And I can honestly say that I did, I kind of operated that way a lot in my early 20s, you know. And I just thank God for growth. Okay. Hello, lovely. Yes, baby, it's Aquarius season. Yeah. Look. Okay, look. Okay, they didn't let the GDs in the dough. Okay. Wait, I'm trying to put her comment on the screen. Okay, there you go. All right. So yes, y'all, we are here. Okay, Javar, yes. Okay, look, I love y'all. Okay, make sure y'all hit the like button on y'all way in, on y'all way out. Okay, and it's nice to see you, lovely. Okay, so I want y'all to listen. Okay, so these ladies are once again they are professionals. Okay, they are black women. They are married black women. They are successful black women. And before I play this clip, if you have not seen Married to Medicine, now is your time to go watch the show. Okay. You can start you can watch all 12 seasons because right now I want to say we're probably what 3 episodes away from the reunion, y'all. But you can watch it on Peacock for free. Okay, if you I have Peacock. Actually, I think we pay for Peacock. Yeah, I don't know. Don't I'm not trying to be funny, like, oh, I don't know, but all jokes aside, I don't know if we're paying for Peacock or not, or if Peacock is free. I don't know, because I don't really be paying the bills around here. But if you watch Married to Medicine, so you know that this season is season 12, and our cast is Contessa, okay, Dr. Contessa, Dr. Jackie, Dr. Heavenly, Dr. Simone, Toya, Quad, and we have 3 new girls, Dr. Mimi, I think her name is Dr. Brandy, and Angel from Basketball Wives. Okay. So, long story short, y'all. Okay, I'm gonna keep it short and cute because I want y'all to see this scene, but I also want y'all to understand what happened before. Okay, because I don't have all the clips. Okay, and I'm really not trying to get my channel to. But anyway, so Dr. Contessa turned 40 years old, y'all, last year in 2025, and y'all know we are watching, the season now. But anyway, so she wanted to throw herself a birthday party, and she did. And while, planning for this party, she opened up to Toya, that her husband, Dr. Scott, has never thrown her a birthday party or really done any type of celebration or anything, in her in their time of being together. So long story short, y'all, this scene right here is like right after, no, it's like during the party. And the ladies, okay, are like chiming in, they're asking her questions. How come, your husband, can't throw you a party, whoopie woo, And keep in mind that if you watch Married to Medicine, Scott and Contessa's marriage has always been like a very funny, I'm gonna say an uncomfortable topic for everybody, even the viewers, because as a viewer, if you are familiar with Scott and Contessa, it at one point it kind of came off that Contessa, Dr. Contessa was in a abusive relationship. Okay. And from my own observation, y'all, I felt it was more emotional abuse than physical. And Dr. Scott has been accused of being a cheater. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Ain't nothing ever came out about him, and I'm gonna keep my comments to myself because I don't want y'all to know how I be knowing stuff. But all I'm gonna say is, energy be given. But there's some things about their relationship that make the viewers uncomfortable, and I've even noticed the other ladies are very uncomfortable about their marriage, not only because of a lot of their behavior as a couple and apart, but mostly because Contessa will confide in the ladies about her marriage, and then when they try to talk about it out in the open, she blows up on everybody. Okay. And that can be a little confusing. But anyway, y'all, so we're gonna watch this clip because as y'all can see, the title of the live is "Does Maturity Come with Age?" Okay. Like, does it? Okay, y'all can answer the question. Y'all can answer the question in the chat. Okay, does maturity come with age? Do y'all think maturity comes with age, or do you think it is something that kind of happens because of your experiences in life? And I'm gonna say this now. Wise people typically learn from other people's mistakes, and you have some of us who like to bump our heads and learn a lesson. We like to buy some sense, because bulk sense is the best sense. Okay, all right. So I am in a place where it's like, I'm disappointed in these ladies, y'all, because I feel, and keep in mind, y'all, it is just a show. It is called reality TV, and a lot of things are scripted. However, the behavior, from other mature women and women who have been married, for 10 and 20 years plus, in my opinion, is very hard to stomach, because on these reality shows, they talk a lot about sisterhood, and women empowerment and, building each other up. And in some of these moments, y'all, they suck. Like, they miss the mark, like, for real. They really miss the mark. And I can honestly say, they missed the mark because, hey, Miss WD, they missed the mark because, this whole birthday thing became like a competition. And for the life of me, I would like, as black women, why are we always trying to outdo one another? You know what I'm saying? Like, why are we always trying to tear each other down versus lift each other up? And this scene was so triggering because there was a lot of aftermath after this scene where, and I think I have that clip, y'all. So hold on, let me make sure I got my clip before I go on. And because Dr. Contessa is actually, in my opinion, she a cool chick, okay? And she does have like some issues, in her marriage or whatever. And I feel like the ladies are always like bullying her or, making fun of her. And to me, Contessa seems like the type of girl that just wants to like have friends and, because her, like Lord, her and her husband, like if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. Like it's really something a little off there. And it's like and I'm gonna explain to y'all why I'm thinking like this, okay? Hey, Scorpio mama, I don't think I said hey to you, boo. But do y'all remember when Simone and Cecil were about to they had announced that they were getting a divorce on the reunion and everybody rallied around them and it was like, oh no, y'all gotta fight for y'all marriage. Do y'all remember that? So this with Dr. Contessa, it hurts my feelings so bad because sometimes I want to shake her and tell her, like, these women don't like you. Because I know it's a reality show, y'all. I know, that they get paid to do this. But when I look into that woman's eyes, she looks so hurt all the time. Like, like she's not, like she's uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And Contessa seems like she's really cool, but this is not. I said all that to say, you would think, that with her having her educational background, her being a married woman, her being successful, and not only her education, background, it's like Dr. Contessa has accomplished a lot in her lifetime. I think she was in like the military or the Air Force or whatever. And I'm watching this show and I'm recognizing like, that even in real adulthood, and you can have, a lot of material things. You can have, we'll say, I don't know, education, a loving husband. You can still be fairly insecure and you can try to fit into spaces where you're not really welcome. Okay. And at her age, you would think, she would like, be like, you know what? Because when she left the show, I kind of figured, she caught on like, these women don't really like me. Because I feel like they were always just giving Contessa like, the hand, like there's been a bunch of mean bitches. Okay. So I feel like I'm going on and on and on. I haven't showed y'all the clip. Okay, so let's watch the clip so y'all can see what I'm talking about. Okay. Let's watch this. All right.
I think I had a vision in my head. I don't know if it would have been what I was expecting if somebody else playing it for me. Like, what if he did something like in the backyard? I really wanted to be somewhere where people could get drinks.
But why not just tell him that and then have him do it?
I told him. I mean, I've been waiting. You know me. Wait 20 years.
Don't y'all believe that from the beginning of the relationship, we teach the men how to treat them?
That is so true.
And so if the bar of expectation is low, they can jump right over that and they don't move the bar.
Right.
We have to move the bar. My first Mother's Day, Cecil didn't have a card for me. And I'm like, I got this little sucker over here sucking on me and you don't have a card.
I think I had a vision in my head.
Now, keep in mind that this is her birthday party. Okay. Like this is her party where she should be being celebrated. She should be enjoying herself. And in this scene, she had just sat down. And the subject, was about, why her husband didn't throw her a party. And I just want y'all to look at the distress. Like, this is just a clip, but if you watch the whole show, which can be found on Peacock, okay, you can see, because that conversation didn't end there. It did not end there, but look at her face.
I don't know if it would have been what I was expecting if somebody else playing it for me. Like, what if he did something like in the backyard? I really wanted to be somewhere where people could get drinks.
But why not just tell him that and then?
Okay, so y'all see her face. She looks like, first of all, she didn't want to have that conversation, and she even said it in her confessional, like, it's my party. You know what I'm saying? And all of the ladies, like I said, are married, except I think Angel, and they've been married for some time. And I did like what Simone said, because Simone has been very open and honest this season, not anything out of the normal, about her marriage and how she feels about Cecil. By the way, y'all, Cecil is my favorite husband on the show. I love Simone. It's funny because I love Simone, and a part of me is like, girl, if you want to get divorced, go ahead. And the other half is like, no, it's Cecil and Simone. So honestly, I really don't have anything to say about that other than, I like them as a couple, and I like them separate. Like, it really don't matter to me. I just want Simone to be happy. I'm gonna say that much. I like what Simone said, and I also like how she went into, her first Mother's Day, and because there's a story there too. And she goes and she was just pretty much saying, like, my first Mother's Day, Cecil didn't give me a card. She was transparent about, her relationship. Like, she didn't leave Contessa to feel like, because after this scene, y'all, the women start like picking with this girl. Okay. Like Brandy, I think her name is Dr. Brandy or whatever. Hey, Larry King. Hey, Shay Love. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in and on the way out, okay? So it became like the Dr. Brandy chick was like, oh, it's my birthday. My husband paid for my dinner. He paid for this party. Like, it became this really big thing. And I was so annoyed because I was like, I understand, storyline. She's the newbie. She got to make her way in. And I was actually proud of Contessa for gathering her ass because it was so extra. Like, oh, my husband, he paid for this dinner. My husband's doing this for me. Like, yeah, it was like a whole little show, and it was very unnecessary. And I said all that to say that, I'm watching and I'm like, why does she feel the need to like make her entrance to shit on Contessa? Like, I'm that girl, I have this happy marriage, I have this, like, she come, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't really, I can deal with Brandy, but I don't like Dr. Mimi at all. And y'all, she get on my damn nerves. Ooh, that lady get on my nerves. But listen. So I'm like, I think it was Angel. Okay, so there, fast forward, y'all. Angel, okay, she's on the show because I think she's a nurse practitioner, right? And the ladies were having like a thing, and she was like, at this age, I expect them to act. And at first, I was busy laughing my ass off, but I agree with her. I was like, she's right, because don't get it twisted. It's drama. It's reality TV. This is what we're here for. But some of this stuff is really just unbecoming of, I'm going to say, Dr. Simone looking up people's information, Toya, and y'all gotta know I love me some Toya, okay? Toya being a real mean girl. Like Dr. Heavenly is running for, I believe, the state governor in Georgia or something. I don't know, y'all. She's running for something in Georgia. Okay. And Toya is like antagonizing this woman to get out of character. And it is my belief, and you know, some of the viewers believe that she's doing this to get Heavenly, like I said, to come out of character and ruin her chances of being in politics. And in my opinion, it's funny and entertaining to watch, because if you know Dr. Heavenly didn't raise hell for 11 to 12 seasons straight. She, you know, is Dr. They say Simone is Dr. Well, Toya said Dr. Simone is Dr. Ghetto, but no, Dr. Heavenly is Dr. Ghetto. Okay, beat your ass, you know, bitch, you got me fucked up, your mama. So, yeah. But when you really sit back and you think about it, the environment that these ladies are in, can you really say that they are all real friends? Even though Dr. Simone, Toya, Quad, Jackie, and Heavenly, okay, well, no, Dr. Simone, Jackie, Heavenly, Quad hang out together. Okay, I keep I'm messing up y'all, because what I'm trying to say is Dr. Simone and Toya hangs out. Dr. Jackie and Dr. Heavenly hangs out, you know, but and then there's Dr. Simone and Dr. Jackie that hangs out. But Toya and who is it? Heavenly can't stand each other. Dr. Simone and Heavenly can't stand each other. But they're all like trying to have this friendship group where all this shit keep popping off. She said Dr. Heavenly is huge. Leave my girl alone, of real. That's my girl for real. But listen, they all keep trying to, you know, fix the broken circle. But from my recollection, y'all, none of the ladies liked Quad when she first came around. They were all against her, treating her like she was some hood rat after Dr. G's money. And if you ask me, out of everybody in the circle, Quad has not only moved accordingly, but she's been very smart and calculated with how she treats the ladies. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying, you know, it's something anybody should have to do, you know what I'm saying, in order to make their money. But I don't really think she's done anything out of revenge, except for when Dr. G and his wife came on the show. Y'all know what season I'm talking about? Hey, Real. Hey, buddy. But she's definitely been smart about how she handles herself on this show with the ladies. And I'm not knocking her for it at all, because Simone seems to be very bitter when it comes to Quad. And I do feel that they, as a collective, on some level wanted Quad to fail. They wanted her to be kicked off the show. Keep in mind, she was younger than them, okay? Even though I think Quad was younger than everybody. And Toya, or it's like a mix up in between the two of them, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. They wanted her to fail. They didn't want her to be, you know, with Dr. G or whatever. And the whole time they were both pretty toxic in the relationship. It wasn't just her. But I said all that to say that, you know, don't get it wrong. I'm not saying just because you get older, you know, you don't have issues with your friends. I'm not saying, you know, because they're grown, they shouldn't have a reality TV show acting the way they're acting. I'm talking about the way they handle real life issues as if they are high schoolers, like for real. And is as if they're not doctors, as if they're not married women. Like they really lack compassion for certain women in the group. And I've come to the conclusion that, it's not like the issue is that they don't really like these women. Okay. They don't like Dr. Contessa. And the funny part about it is only a few of them really like each other. Are y'all following me? And as a viewer of the show, I could easily say, like, these women, don't know how to, carry themselves, or they're ghetto. And no, none of those things are true. Actually, two things can be true at once. And what we're witnessing is, real life. Funny enough, we're witnessing doctors outside of their scrubs. We're witnessing married women, okay, mature married women show favoritism amongst their friend group, okay, lack compassion for certain, because at the end of the day, they're human, right? But I'm gonna tell y'all what's disappointing about it when it comes to, I'm gonna say, the marriage part, is that there are younger women watching this show, okay? And you would think that in 2025, okay, because this is when this is, being shot, that in 2025, women would really care for each other more, and just try to uplift each other versus trying to outdo one another or make fun of each other or make the other person feel inferior. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I wanted to show y'all this clip, because Contessa, instead of her friends rallying around her, celebrating her, making sure she had the best night of her 40th birthday life, they wanted to pour salt on an open wound and keep picking and pointing out the fact that the partner that she's chosen in her life, makes her feel a certain kind of way. And for me, that is not how I would treat my friends, or even, I'm going to say, an associate, because you don't have to befriend a person to be kind to them and show compassion or even uplift them. And they dropped the ball as far as women empowerment and women building and lifting and lifting each other up. Because as women, we carry a lot on our shoulders. It's for our husbands and our children. And then we have to take care of ourselves. And a lot of the times we're drowning, and we want our friend groups or even our co-workers, associates, peers, you know what I'm saying, to be seen. And the way that they treat Contessa, in my opinion, is so not right. It's not right. And I also want her to recognize that, she doesn't have to be treated that way by them. Like, and when I say I was so happy when she caught the slick shade, from Dr. Brandy, and she was throwing that shit back. It's like, yeah, stand up for yourself, because you don't deserve that. Like, nobody should try to capitalize off your pain, or nobody should try to make you feel like you're the only woman in the world whose husband never threw her a birthday party. And y'all know what shocked me is that I was reading the comments, and usually, like, if the subject is Toya, the comments be brutal. But in this case, the comments were really on Dr. Contessa's side. They were like, why are they acting like, it's such a big deal? Some husbands don't know how to plan anything. There are some men on this earth, and I'm not making excuses for men, because in my opinion, watching Dr. Contessa, I feel like her husband should listen to her more. And not only should he listen to her more, but men, if you're watching these shows, look how pay attention to how other women will try and humiliate, you know, your wife or girlfriend, you know, because of where you lack. And I'm not talking about money. I'm not talking about materials. I'm talking about these other married women are making it like a flex, you know, that my husband threw me a birthday party, and my husband, you know, my husband threw me a birthday party, y'all, him and my aunt. And nothing in me, if I heard another girl my age or even older than me, and they're like, oh, you know, Vaughn, my husband's never, I wouldn't be like, girl, like, what? Do y'all get what I'm saying? So it's like a teachable moment, okay, as women, young and older, or I'm going to say in mature age, you know, when you see your girl, okay, or another woman, you know, going through something, you know, don't be that mean girl to try to use, you know, what God has blessed you with or what you have been fortunate enough to obtain and like to flex on another woman, especially when you can see that she's hurting. Y'all following me? It's like, you know, nothing about this scene, because this is just a clip. It got worse because Contessa finally checked them. Like, you know, hey, this is my birthday party. You know, I love my husband, whatever. And that's another thing. This is why people, especially women and men, don't like to open up about their relationship or have anybody to confide in, because people will take your shortcomings or something that you're going through and try to flex on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not really genuine. They're not people who actually want to see you win, or they feel superior to you because you're not, you know, on the same level as them. And a lot of the times, y'all, these people be fake as fuck. Like, all of these women on this show, okay, Dr. Jackie, even though, you know, we don't know too much about Dr. Heavenly's personal business, but I'm sure that if you've been married for over 20 years or even 10 years, you have had some marital issues that does not make you or your spouse feel good when you reflect or if you're going through it. And I'm in this place in my life where it's like, you know, that's just not how I move. I want to see everybody win, even people that I don't like. I really, you know, I get mad, you know what I'm saying, about certain stuff, but it's not so deep that I just want to see you fail. I feel like if you're that type of person, you know, especially as you're getting older, you know, you really have some self-reflect, like you have some really deep issues, and you have to be miserable. You know what I'm saying? To see that somebody's going through something, and instead of you know, being there for them, you know, you want to, you know, flex or, you know, feel like, you know, and that's another thing I want to say too, is like, you have to be careful, you know, with people that come off as like, oh, I want to help you, or, oh, girl, you can talk to me. Because a lot of the times you can be confiding in people that are happy that you have issues. And how I feel is that Toya likes to pick at Contessa to keep the attention off her and Eugene. And I also feel like Dr. Simone is so much a mean girl, y'all. But I love Dr. Simone, and I'm going to tell y'all why. Because she keeps it real as much as she possibly can. And I noticed that she shows a lot of humility, you know, like, especially towards like Toya, like when her and Toya get into those huge blow up matches, you know, she'd be like, girl, bye. But when she really sees that, you know, Toya's going through something, she'll pull back. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like in that moment, instead of being a part of the, you know, oh, girl, you know, my husband would never. because she's got her own issues in her marriage right now, right? And instead of picking another woman while she's down, you know, right, Abril, she was like, right, that fake jealous and insecure. You know, she was like, well, shit, you know, my first Mother's Day, you know, Cecil didn't give me no card. And, you know, usually that's what real women or girlfriends do when, you know, a friend or girlfriend or whoever, you know, is kind of going through something. You know, you share similar experiences and you give advice on how to make it better. And what she said in this scene was, you know, a lot of the time, you know, these men are going off us. You know, what she say, you know, if we set the bar low, you know, at the bare minimum, that's all they're ever going to do. You know, they're not going to, and that may be true for some men and not all. Okay. Because, you know, keep in mind, y'all, they are a little older, but I don't think it's too late to learn or change. However, like I said, if I could sit down and have a conversation with Dr. Scott, I would tell him, you need to pay more attention to your wife. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, because she's her, like, I don't know if y'all watched, I think it's season 4 of Married to Medicine when Lisa Nicole came on the show. Y'all, that season made me cry because of the way that they treated her. And like, it was kind of like, oh, you know, your husband's a cheater. You know, he likes strippers. You had, you know, people coming up telling Quad he was gay. And it was like, you know, you need to talk to your husband. And, you know, that wouldn't be going on in my house. I just did not like that. And y'all know what's so funny is that I was in my early 20s when I watched that season. And I had a friend who was going through some things in her relationship. And funny enough, y'all, that was my attitude. Girl, I wouldn't be going through that. You need to, you know, you deserve better. And y'all, she was messy as hell. So she went and told her boyfriend what I said. And then they was both mad at me. But I realized that, you know, that's how I looked talking to my friend. You know, I look holier than now. I look like, you know, and I'm not saying it like, what I'm saying is the attitude, you know, and how they, and I get it, y'all. It's a show. It's a TV show. You know, they need the ratings. They need the drama. And maybe they handle each other different off camera. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I think that's some bullshit. Okay, if that's the truth, that's because they're not really being an example for what sisterhood is supposed to look like amongst us women of color, especially married women of color. Because, like Dr. Heavenly said, in the old days, you know, people stayed no matter what. Nowadays, people are divorcing for anything. And between me and y'all, okay, and God, a part of me don't see nothing wrong with that, because if our great grandmothers and you know people could, I'm sure that they would have, you know what I'm saying, if they had the money, you know, the education, you know what I'm saying, the resources that we have now, I'm sure those women would have left their abusive, you know, whether it was physical, emotional, financial, whatever, they would have left those husbands. They wouldn't have stayed with them. You know what I'm saying? And some women, you know, of 2026 still do stay. Okay. And, you know, that's their business. That's their problem. It's not for Vaughn or anybody else to tell anybody to leave. You know what I'm saying? Because we all grown and we can make our own decisions. All right. Now, but yeah, to me, it's not a very good example of, you know, like how women should be uplifting each other in times of despair. And, you know, you can say, oh, Vaughn, is it really this? It is. It is for me, because if you pay attention, they don't treat every woman like that on the show. Okay. And I'm gonna say this: if you're the type of woman who don't like a woman, that's okay. You know, it's okay for you to not like somebody, but it costs nothing to be kind. You know what I'm saying? And if you see somebody going through and you still being real nasty, you know, that speaks a lot to your character. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I'm gonna leave that alone. You know, because I'm not throwing no stones. You know, I'm just keeping it real. And I feel like, you know, the show has exposed some people's true nature and character. And, you know, it's just not a good look. You know, so like I said, this is a teachable moment. Okay. If you have girlfriends, you know, who are going through some things, or you're a part of a friend group circle and you don't really care for, you know, Ann and Tracy, you know, still be kind to them, you know, if they got a little something going on and you're, you know, aware. Be kind. Because as Black women, you know, we do carry a lot on our shoulders. And if our, you know, sister girls ain't gonna, you know, keep us up, you know, or, you know what I'm saying? It's like, who else is gonna do it? We're gonna leave it up to who? Okay? Like, mm-mm. And I'm gonna say this. I don't think maturity comes with age. I don't. I think it's a choice. I really think some of us learn from our past and our past behavior and the decisions that we've made and things that we've gone through personally. And it humbles us. It humbles us to treat people differently and not to necessarily, um, you know, pretty much think that the world revolves around you. And I think other people really do believe that certain situations could not be them, or they're too embarrassed to admit that certain situations have been them. And they don't really know how to put themselves in other people's shoes. Because I've noticed that in the Black community, there is a huge stigma of nobody was there for me, so why should I be there for others? And that breaks my heart, like a little bit, because I can understand the feeling, and I'm even a witness to like standing on that. And I'm just gonna say, it ruined me. It made me harder and less loving and just not really the best person. So if you know that that's you, you know, there's this post that circles around. Excuse me, y'all, I keep burping because I know y'all like, what is, I'm drinking pop, y'all. It's grape soda. Okay. I haven't had grape soda in years. Okay. So I don't drink Pepsi anymore because caffeine is really, really bad for me. But anyway, hello, Gary Bob. That's a loaded question, to be honest. What's a loaded question? But I was going to say that there's this post that circles around social media that says, I'm the little girl, I'm the woman that I just had it because I posted it before. I'm the woman I think it was like, I'm most proud of being the woman I needed when I was a little girl, or something like that. Yeah, I think that's the post. And I like that because a lot of people do turn their pain into purpose, and they don't necessarily wallow in their grievances with life, whether it's the life that was given to them. or even decisions that they made. You know, they don't like they turn their pain into purpose, right? And they try to teach and lead the younger generation, or even set an example for, you know, the younger people that, you know, just because you went through this or you experienced that don't mean you have to be this type of person. And um I guess you can say I admire people like that, you know, who have overcame, you know, their trials and triumphs and tribulations. And that's who I aspire to be when I really grow up, y'all. Is like, you know, I know for me, I am definitely the woman, you know, who would have protected, you know, the little girl in me. I know I'm that person for children. You know, I advocate for my kids a lot and other children. But I feel like as far as like being an example for women, that's something I'm still working on, because, you know, I feel like in order to really, you know, embrace, you know, I'm gonna say women empowering each other. You know, you really, it's not just something you say; it's almost like a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like, you know, I naturally love to uplift and encourage others. You know, but like I said, I got some things I'm working on, like within myself. You know, so I can be the best version of myself, and so that I can really be an example. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, heavy is the head that wears the crown. But anyway, that's just what I want to say about that. But yes, so like I said, I'm not gonna be here for long. Maybe, and honestly, y'all, this was just an impromptu live. Like, I had no plans on going live or anything. I, like I said, I watched this show. This is actually a clip from like maybe 3, 4 episodes ago, and I saw it and I was like, I want to talk about this because, y'all, it, I'm not gonna say it was still on my mind, but when I saw it, it was like, oh my goodness, like, you know, we have to stop this as women. Like, we really gotta stop, you know, trying to outdo each other. You know what I'm saying? Tearing each other down. You know, not really being a girl's girl. And let me just say this: all women are not girls' girls. We're just like, some of y'all just ain't got it, okay? But you still don't have to be, you know, I'm gonna say mean spirited. And I noticed like, and honestly, I don't feel Toya is mean spirited. I feel like Toya be getting her lick back from all the shit that they talk about her. Because let's keep it real. Contessa came on the show with Toya and then started talking about her finances in her house when her and Scott wasn't happy. And that's the number one thing I noticed in this show is like when the women are going through something with their own spouse, y'all, they take that shit out on each other. And it be so bad. And it's like I love them as individuals and as a collective, but they be fumbling the bag, y'all. So it'd be like, yo, why are y'all doing this? Like, what is the problem? Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Right, Miss WD. Absolute fact. Absolute fact. But yeah, like if y'all peep it when Contessa and Dr. Scott was going through it, y'all, she had and keep in mind, y'all. See, let me tell y'all something. One thing the gossip blogs don't do, I feel like they don't like. Here's what I should have done. I should have gave y'all the flashback clip of when Toya was throwing a party for they had just paid their taxes off. Keep in mind, it makes so much sense why Contessa was all upset and in her feelings because it's like, you know, my husband don't y'all, it like maybe one day I'll do a live and just show y'all how you can see like jealousy in this group of each other. Because one thing I can say is that I do think a lot of working women, whether they're extremely successful or not, because keep in mind, y'all, these women are successful themselves and they have successful husbands. And they can't stand the fact that Toya is a black woman who don't work. And y'all want to know what's so funny? Over the last, I'm gonna say for my generation, being an adult, I'm gonna say maybe the last 15 years, black women are, starting to kind of wake up and say, wait a minute, when the white women marry, for money or, and they don't have to work, you don't hear other white women, talking about, oh, she lazy, woo, woo, woo. You only hear that in the black community. And that is very much so true. And funny enough, it's not a rare thing at all for black women to stay at home with their children while their husband works. It's only, I'm going to say like a small portion. Y'all, like, I'm going to say ignorance is bliss because I grew up around working women. And of course, I've gotten a lot of, slick remarks or whatever. And yes, they have bothered me. I realize it's our environment and where you come from. So I'm even going to say that, maybe white women don't do it out loud in front of everybody, like the housewives of Beverly Hills and all them women and all of them, because, their husbands are like billionaires. But I feel like black women and black men frown on anything that means joy. And what I mean by joy is, the crabs in the barrel mentality. Like, you get black men who shame other black men for treating their wives good. Okay, their wives can work, be educated, and he can be like, hey, like another black man. No, let me not even do that. Another black man could buy his wife new cars, keep her, dressed up, cute. You know what I'm saying? She could be a totally kept woman. And men call that simping. Black men call it simping. It's like, huh? I wouldn't be at home. Like, I remember when we were younger and my husband, okay, and now keep in mind, y'all, the older generation made these comments, the older generation of men. I was at a funeral by myself. And my cousins, they were like, where's your husband? I was like, oh, he's at home. Oh man, that's crazy. I wouldn't be at home. And I was like, why wouldn't you? Like, y'all know I got a slick mouth. So I'm like, well, why wouldn't you? I'm like, what's wrong with being at home with your kid? Oh man, cause you running shit. No, I'm not. Like, first of all, this is my family, okay? But see, in my family, you know, it's a lot of women who they've seen raise, their kids by themselves. Even their mothers raised them without their fathers. Or, it's like the men were allowed, or not even allowed, but, they had the privilege to, do whatever they wanted to do. And they're so used to seeing mothers with their children. And I really used to be offended by those types of comments because I felt like, now keep in mind, these are my cousins, they could just be joking and stuff. And they may not even know that they offended me because honestly, it's all like, shits and giggles and like, well, nigga, why wouldn't you be at home with your kids? But I would think about those comments and I felt like it said a lot about myself. And I also felt like it said something about my spouse. When truth be told, y'all, we both had these children together. And there was even sometimes, people made remarks like, oh, you're always, with your kids, you deserve a break. And honestly, y'all, the comments were just so unwarranted. And it kind of for a minute just irritated me and made me feel, it's like, no, people need to mind their business because, one thing I can say about the newer generation, y'all, we not going for all that. Well, I'm going to say this. I'm not going for all that bullshit. Okay. I'm just not. And I noticed that the older generation really looks at a lot of things very negatively. And don't get me wrong, wisdom is good. And sometimes you do, because there are some comments that have been made to me and just regarding me as an individual that I wish I really have taken heed to. But, I'm a little older now, so I get it. But there are some things that I think has been embedded in the older generations, like, mind, that when they see us young people doing stuff, they automatically think that there's something negative going on. And I can honestly say that could be from their own experience. And some people just, they just love drama, but I do too, so it's like whatever. But no, I can honestly say that where I'm at now in my age, I see both sides of it. I also can recognize how much things have changed and why the older generation be so turned off by things that the men do and the women do. Because a lot of older men, some of them, they congratulate the newer generation for being more present in their children's lives. And if you ask me, the bitter, want to be seen as so masculine and so tough, I'm going to say insecure men, really try to beat up on the younger generation for being, I'm going to say what a man should really be, which is a father to his children, loving on his wife, taking care of her. I feel like those types of guys you shouldn't listen to. And the same thing for women. There's a lot of women who raise their children on their own, due to many different reasons. And when they see a woman, especially a young woman married, raising her kids with her spouse, there's a lot of negative. And then when you have older couples, and I love older couples who give a lot of wisdom and good feedback, because it makes a huge difference versus, like I said, the older single women, older single men, and some people are, much older and together and mean and miserable as hell. Okay. So it really has nothing to do with being single or anything. Some things have just to do with experience, and I'm gonna say lack of growth, understanding. You know what I'm saying? Like wisdom, and that's just my opinion. Okay. Hey, young Riaz. Hey, Drip King. I don't know why I should say young Riaz, but hey, buddy. But yeah, so maybe y'all learned something listening to this show. Like I said, if you are, a woman of mature age and you have a friend group, or an associate group, you know, we're uplifting each other, okay, in 2026. We're not doing this here. Okay. Um, I'm gonna say shout out to the ladies of Married to Nest. Y'all, when I say I love all of them, they just disappoint me sometimes. Like, and this is just one of those times. I feel like they have so much compassion for Quad. Like, we gonna go into all of that because I'm waiting for this reunion to come up. Let me see how many more. Oh shit, y'all. Y'all will never believe what I just did. OMG, I just cut myself. Oh wow. Oh no, I'm bleeding. Okay. So let me go do what I was gonna do. So I wonder how many more episodes we have until the reunion. Yeah, I can't believe I just cut myself. Owie. Okay, man, hold on. How? Y'all, I can't really text. Because I cut my thumb. Like, it hurt. Okay, I got it. Oh, I didn't mean to say season 11. Okay, y'all. We might be a ways away from the reunion. Because, dang, we only on episode 8. Hmm. Hey, Miss Alice. Miss Alice, I'm finna read. Miss Alice, I just thought about something. I'm mad at you. um. Okay, y'all. So yeah, we might be a ways away from the. I don't know why I'm so thirsty for the reunion. Maybe because this is a long time. It's been a long time since I've watched the show episode by episode. I usually wait till the whole season is done airing and then I watch. And I haven't done that in a long, long time because, like I said, I usually watch a lot of TV with my aunt. Okay, and while SBK didn't tag me. Somehow, it's Saturday. We celebrate 1 year monetized at the bar. So I hope everybody didn't got their notification that I'm not gonna be going live in February. Okay, so I'm kind of sad, y'all, but trust me when I say it's for the good. She said I'll text you one. Okay, Miss Alice. No, I'm just playing. I was just playing about being mad at you. Don't nobody run with that. Okay, you keep crazy. But yeah, like when I say this, like I said, this was just an impromptu live, y'all. I said I'm gonna go live and I'm gonna try to do commentary on this show and my thoughts. And that's all. I didn't really want anything. Y'all tell me what y'all think on the replay. if you watch the show, let me know. And also keep in mind, y'all, I think we are waiting on one more person. Miss Foster Mom, you still in the chat? Because y'all, we were supposed to start our book club today, and so far the majority has their books. I think we're waiting on one more person, but I think we might go live maybe Saturday or even tomorrow or Monday. This house don't be laughing. So y'all get prepared for the Abril, are you still in here? Okay, yeah, I think everybody might have left. Okay, I'm not bleeding anymore, y'all. The bleeding has stopped. I'm so happy. Um, I'm trying to text Miss Tawana to see. I'm gonna see if she wanna come up real quick, y'all. Hold on. Does anybody want to come on the panel? Um, okay. I see you, Abril. Okay. Let me see. Does anybody want to come on? Is anybody else want to come on the panel? Anybody? Like I said, I'm not trying to be here all day. Okay, so I want everybody to remember that. But I want to see what Mr. Tawana finna say about because we've been talking about this like behind the scenes or whatever. But I want to see if she wants to go live. Oh, what's that? 50% off. What? Oh, that's for something else I got going on, y'all. But yeah, because if not, I'm gonna go ahead and go. But if anybody wants to come up, I dropped the link. We can talk about the show or the book club, like if y'all trying to be a part of it or not. And yeah, I'm obsessed with it. Like I'm a part of the Married to Medicine conversation on Facebook, and that's all I see down my timeline, like all day, every day. Like for real. Oh, I guess I could take this down. Stop sharing. Yeah, I ain't been on here in so freaking long. Like, oh my goodness. I'm not really Miss WD still in here. But yeah, y'all. So oh, this looks good. OMG, y'all. It's been so long since I myself has had a party with all my family and friends. And y'all, I think I want to throw one because I've been finding some really good recipes on how to make these little sliders and stuff. And I just don't want to eat them and be selfish because my auntie gonna comment on my post. I think I might throw like an invitation her and be like, yo, you wanna come to my house? But all right, y'all. It don't look like anybody coming up. Wait a minute. Y'all, they got this new drink out called Cut Water. And I'm not really drinking like that, but I kind of want to try it because it looks like a Capri Sun for adults. Oh, okay. But if I grab a drink, I think I'm gonna try that one. Okay. All right. But I'm gonna go, and like I said, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments about the show. And what do y'all, and that's another thing. As I'm gonna ask y'all this. Has there ever been a time where you competed, whether you and you, because like in that friend that I keep telling y'all about, we had like real conversations where I remember this one time we fell out, y'all. And we had talked to each other. I want to say it was right after we both gave birth to our second children. And we was like, apologize. And keep in mind, y'all, we were in our early 20s, okay? So we talked and it was like, girl, you was throwing shade about this, that, and the third, and you didn't even know, and I was like, we both were kind of saying the same thing to each other. And this is what Married to Medicine reminds me of. It reminds me of my friendship that I had with someone when I was in my early 20s. Like, it reminds me of youthful Vine, not, grown Vine. Because it's like, yo, this is not how you treat your friends. And funny enough, it is not how I would not. And that's what I was going to ask y'all. So has there ever been a time where you knew that a friend of yours was competing with you and you were also competing with them, or y'all did things to irritate each other? I don't know. Maybe I just like toxic relationships. I don't know. But what I will say is definitely been there, definitely have learned, like that's not a good friendship. And y'all know what's so funny is that we like I said, we the last set of apologies, we just decided not to be friends. And it happened not subtly, but it all happened naturally. Like it was just like the natural court. Like I think we both kind of recognized that we just weren't good friends for each other. And keep in mind, y'all, we were young. Like we were young. And I'm not gonna say we didn't like each other. I think we were just young and dumb. I really do. Like because I used to have so much fun with this girl, and she was telling me like, I have so much I love. And y'all, what's funny is I remember that a lot of my mean streaks really had nothing to do with her. And she told me the same thing. Like, that's why I say when I watch this show, I feel like, they're not really showing maturity. You know what I'm saying? It's like watching Mean Girls. It's like, my God, today. Like, because at my age now, I would not befriend anybody that I knew was competing with me, or I felt like I had to compete with them. I just wouldn't do that to myself because, when I think back on that friendship, we knew what we were doing. Like, and it's weird because like we knew what we were doing. We would call each other out and we would laugh about it. But I think what made the friendship come to an end was, somebody took it too far. And it wasn't me, it was her. But I had gotten married and I felt like I was too grown. It was like, oh, and honestly, y'all, I'm gonna say the nail in the coffin was she attacked my marriage, meaning like, she started talking shit. And I got my feelings like it was no longer child's play to me. You know, my marriage meant something to me. And it wasn't that she was saying anything about my husband, it was what she was saying about me and how she threw, like my feelings that I expressed to her in my face. And that was the last straw for me because in that moment, y'all, my marriage, it was like, I'm married and, blah, blah, blah. And, I really, wanted good things. And I felt like, she was secretly rooting for my marriage to fail. So I'm going to say in relationships like that, eventually somebody gets their feelings hurt because y'all, she called me and she apologized, left voicemails, and my feelings were so hurt. And I felt like, this is not somebody I want in my corner. And truthfully, y'all, she, like, in her apology, she was like, I didn't mean it. It's like, I don't think she even meant it, but it was the fact that she said it. And because she said she repeated something back to me that I said to her that I just didn't want to hear. I didn't want to, you know what I'm saying? It's so, I want to say it was like pouring salt on a wound, and it made me angry and not like her. So you have to be very careful, with what you say to people, even out of anger, because you just never know, like, what button you really pressing. And I can say that for myself too, because there was a time where I had to apologize to her like over and over. And it was like, yo, but that last incident, y'all, she didn't recognize that I was changing, in my thought process. I was different, because I was becoming different. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I really like Quad, because she know them ladies ain't really her friend like that. She, like I said, she handles herself accordingly, and she handles the women around her accordingly. Like, she know what she doing. So that's why, when she be crying and stuff, everybody be like, oh, she's so fake. It's like, you got Quad putting on the whole show. Like, none of that's real. But Simone feelings really be hurt because Simone is mad that she talks so much shit about Quad. And now Quad out here shitting on everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to be careful what you say. And as much as I like Dr. Simone, y'all, she be eating her words sometimes. And that's why you should be careful how you treat people. Because I remember in that first season, they were coming at that girl like she was just beneath them or something. And turns out she the whole star of the show. And, between me and y'all, okay, that would piss me off too. Like, bitch, how she, but see, that's why, you ain't gonna catch me just talking shit about random people for no reason. Especially they did nothing. But see, that, that's that you gotta eat your words type stuff. They felt like, oh, she would be nothing without Dr. G. And she did a lot without him. And when she was, by his side, because let's keep it real, Quad had a whole real job, on the show. And for some reason, because in my opinion, Black women, thinking they better than somebody, it's like, child, Quad really used to be one of my favorites, y'all. But, she's still my girl, but not like Dr. Heavenly, because Dr. Heavenly messy as hell. She just makes the show fun. She just makes the show fun and messy. I really wish she would grow up sometimes, but majority of the time I'm really laughing with Dr. Heavenly and not at her. Okay, like, I be rolling. When she just be saying any and every old thing, I be like, child, you funny. Like, you funny as hell. But all right, y'all. I'm gonna go, and I don't know when the next time I'm gonna see y'all. Because I don't know what we're gonna do about this book club. Because I'm not gonna be live in February at all. I'm not gonna be on YouTube in February, y'all, which is what, a week away. And I am turning 32, so I have to, shed my 31-year-old skin. That probably sounds really scary, to some people, but I'm just being funny. Thank you, Abril. What you dropped? Oh, you dropped my wish list. Okay. All right, y'all. So make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in and on the way out. And I will see y'all next time. Okay. All right. And I hope y'all enjoyed the show. Please go watch Married to Medicine if you haven't, so we can talk about this. And I will see y'all next time. And oh yeah, the next time I go live, I think we're reviewing the book. Okay, so y'all be on the lookout for that. I will let y'all know behind the scenes. But if y'all don't know what book it is, it's called Grace to Do It. And Lord have mercy, y'all. I have whole freaking stalkers. Like, okay, y'all, I really gotta go. Okay, y'all, bye.
I heard y'all was looking for me. Yeah. Here I go. Floating on your screen, I'm the daydream queen. Black Barbie style, can't put a ring on me. Kids and businesses, yeah, the juggle is real. Hit that like, hit the sub, let's seal the deal. This is Vaughn's reality, baby, tune right in. Soft glam, big goals, we all just here riding. If you came for the tea, on the kettle, no lions. Welcome to the world where the queens always win. Switch it up. Bad bitch, you want the tea, got Lipton packs in the back. A whole lot going on, better grab you a snack. If you want a live stream, light me up in the chat. Play with the queen, got your ass snap back. Boss in my bloodline, every move back with facts. Vaughn's reality, yeah, the fam stay stacked. I'm the moment, the glow, the vibe you can't hack. Step into my world, you ain't never going back. You said you were looking for me, here I go. Get ready for Vaughn's reality show. We gonna be survive, yeah, you already know. Play it in the streets at work or right at home. You said you were looking for me, tooth and close. Watch the elevation and the petty unfold. From the glam to the grind, baby, this my zone. Vaughn's reality, welcome to the throne. Since y'all were looking for me,